So what is this form of exercise? My husband and I started to do a half-hour walk every day. So how excited was I when I found, well, there's one that only takes 15 minutes. And let me tell you one other benefit I received when I began to implement an exercise program. My feet were always cold. I was always sitting in our little ensuite with my feet in the warm water, warming them up. Always cold. I started exercising and guess what? I don't have cold feet anymore. I don't sit on the little ensuite with my feet in hot water anymore. Mind you, I go to great lengths to make sure I'm warm, absolutely. I used to leave home. Now, we were in Melbourne at the time. That's right down the bottom of Australia in the state of Victoria. And most of the time when I walked, it was pitch black outside. Because when I came home, I thought, how am I going to do this? Got to get the kids up, got to put the wash on, got to start the breakfast. So the only way I could do it was get up a little bit earlier. So I started to walk at 5:30 and it was pitch black outside. But what I found was once you start walking, your eyes soon adjust because it's a hassle taking the torch. I'd leave home and it was cold and dark. I'd have a scarf on, I'd have a hat on, I'd have gloves on. And when I'm coming back, this is after half an hour, well, the scarf's off, the hat's off, the gloves are being taken off. And I'd come into the house going, whoa, it's hot in here. No one else was thinking that. I have a friend, his name's Dr. Jonathan Gibbs, and he did a PhD on the effect of exercise in the cell. And he told me this. He said, when you do that in the morning, a network of capillaries is opened that equals the distance around planet Earth. Well, I can hardly get my mind around that one. So where are these capillaries? They're in your extremities. They're in your fingertips, they're in your brain, they're in your eyes. So it increases eyesight, it increases hearing, it increases every single body function. Leviticus 17:11 states that the life of the flesh is in the blood. It moves blood. So yes, how excited was I when I found only 15 minutes. Well, let's have a look at this. It's called high intensity interval training, or often called HIIT training. And the first documented evidence of the HIIT training was probably before the war. Some German trainers were training their athletes in it. The war came, a lot was lost, and then the next time it was documented was a Japanese trainer called Tabata. Now, in many gyms, they still have the Tabata protocol. And he was a trainer for his girls in the Olympic Games, and they were doing figure skating. And he discovered that if they did the HIIT training, they had an edge. So what did he do? So the high intensity, he got his girls to do that for about 20 seconds. The recovery was probably 60 seconds. And the cycle, meaning it's done for a cycle of, would be about 6. So that's 6 cycles of 20 seconds high intensity, 60 seconds recovery. He found when it came time for the Olympic Games, they had an edge. They had an edge on the other athletes, and isn't that what it's all about? Everyone that goes to the Olympic Games is the best that their country has. And sometimes they win by split seconds. So finding something that gave his girls an edge was very important.